Some great minds. One show. Ahmedabad Rising. Exclusively on FM 95 Radio 1.
100% retro.
Ahmedabad Rising પર આજની સવાર છે થોડી વધારે happy અને bright because we have an edupreneur in the studio from આપણું Ahmedabad. Mrs. Manjula Pooja Shroff, she is here with us in the studio. She runs 7 educational institutes including Delhi Public School, Carlock School, Visamo Kids and many others. And it gives me great pride in telling you that I have also sort of worked with Visamo. She has won many more awards than I can list here, and she has been one of the most dynamic change agents in the area of education that our city has seen. And now I know of one more thing that she can do really well, make people laugh and completely brighten up their day, because that is something that has happened to me already. And now the question that I'm sure you've been asked a lot, but it is very inspiring, so I would want you to tell my listeners again that when you started as an edupreneur or as an entrepreneur, it was a time when it was not very common for women to just take this plunge or एक business शुरू कर दिया. So did you had to face a lot of hurdles or a lot of people pointing out and telling you that this is not going to work?
Oh, बिल्कुल. I want you to remember that I was fairly young. I was in my mid-20s and मैं jeans पहना करती थी. I was far slimmer than I am today. I was like half my size. So मैं उन दिनों tight jeans पहन के आप किसी के भी कमरे में चले जाओ, they're never going to take you seriously, right? And so I had one disadvantage. My name was Manjula. So मैं जब card भेजती थी ना, a lot of people used to think कि sari clad, older looking person is going to come.
Yeah.
And I would breeze in and with tight jeans, and so everywhere I went there was this dichotomy कि मेरे नाम से मेरा image कभी भी नहीं match करता था. And then I remember going to the DPS office because I wanted to start DPS in Ahmedabad and saying I want to do the school and I'm very passionate and literally trying to sell a dream. And there was this old person sitting in front of me who looked me ऊपर से नीचे and said, "Tum school chalu karogi." And I'm like, you know what? You will never regret it. And all of those marketing talks. I was always good at marketing and advertising. So he never simply took me seriously.
Just because of the way you looked.
Absolutely.
Bold
a woman,
and pretty.
And younger. And I think a lot of that used to go against me. In the first 6 months that I kind of went to a lot of people saying कि मुझे school शुरू करना है. By the time it was 6 months, मैं चश्मा पहनने लगी थी. And it was just blank chashma. I didn't have reading or simply so that it would make me look slightly older. And then there were times I couldn't handle a sari in those days. I wear a sari much better today than I used to wear then, but I couldn't, and I could never bring myself to wear a salwar kameez. I look so drab in a salwar kameez. so it was either a sari or a pair of jeans for me.
I do not agree with that. I feel like showering you with a lot of compliments, but we won't do that right now.
So I would wear these jeans and chashma and then sound very serious. You figure out that I'm this giggly kind of a person. I'm always laughing. But I guess once you become Manjula Pooja Shroff with a whole bunch of 20 odd institutions behind you, you can laugh and then still be taken seriously. But when you're in your mid-20s and wearing denim, you can't. So, and if you're giggly and all of that, it won't work. So I used to try my best to sound officiating and all of that. But once that came through, I mean, once we brought DPS to Ahmedabad, it was not hunky-dory. As a matter of fact, Ahmedabad है ना, दिल्ली नाम से allergic है. अहमदाबाद के लोग हैं ऐसे मानते हैं कि जो दिल्ली वाले हैं सब चोर हैं,
ठग लोग हैं सारे.
And I got the same thing.
I won't blame them. I used to believe in that for a very long time.
See that? So and then you come with a Delhi public school and एक छोटी सी premises आप rent करके आप शुरू करो and you're wearing jeans any which ways. So everything is going against you. The first couple of months I got real bad press and people were saying कि ये पैसा लेके भाग जाएंगे. Oh, it happened to us.
Press?
Totally.
My God.
There was actually a news item that said कि ये लोग पैसा लेके भाग जाएंगे.
My God.
So we went through all. So my relationship with the media and stuff is like long drawn. I mean, we've had ups and downs and we're thick and thin.
My God, I apologize on behalf of all my counterparts at that time who have done that to you.
No, but it was a huge learning. Especially when you get bad press and you turn around and prove yourself, it's actually far more convincing.
Yeah.
So things worked out well and we got a lot of registrations. The first 2 years we really slogged our backsides off. And DPS, once Bhopal took off, looking back became very difficult because then we were taken seriously. And then all of my disadvantages became my advantages. You know how success is? Pretty is what pretty does, right? So everything that I did was right and proper and all of that. life has been good. Ahmedabad has been very, very kind to me.
And I'm sure it was all worth it because many people have talked really fondly and nicely about you. In fact, on this segment, we have had people who have talked really nice stuff about
Tell
DPS
me,
Public School.
I want to hear.
Okay, so I'm going to give my headphones to you and I will make you listen to what has been said about you just a few days back about a student of yours. So here. And we had this lovely guest and we asked her about what has been the most beautiful part of her schooling and what kind of tremendous support she had from her school.
Okay.
In whatever field she was working. So this is one of your students and I'm sure you would figure out who we are talking about.
Aishwarya.
Yes, of course. And here she goes.
I would love to, mention my school, Delhi Public School. They gave me tremendous support. I mean, I cannot thank them enough for the kind of support they've given me. I'd been given a specific, name, the Gifted Child, and I was a part of the Gifted Child project.
Wow.
And in that, they made sure that they helped my talent as much as they could. My teachers, the principal, the coordinators, the counselors, everybody. It was like they made sure I grew into what I am today. So I am thankful to them, and they let me go to school 2 hours late because सवारे मारे रियाज करवाना है.
Wow.
So I have never heard this in any school.
क्या liberty
क्या
कहाँ है
liberty यहाँ पे. I would love to thank my director अथवा trustee जे पण, I mean for me she is like the most wonderful person I know. Manjula Pooja Shroff. कि जेमने आटली बधी, she was a visionary. She is a visionary, and she saw this in me. She pushed it, and she she got an approval from Delhi that this is what we want to do for this particular child. She has it in her. She can do it.
Okay.
And she was the one who pushed it through. So her, my counselor, Nuzan ma'am, everyone, they pushed me into it. And after that, when I left school, they were the ones who even asked me, "Ave tu abadu chhod, school mein tu chhod, tu gawa mein lagi ja." So they were the ones who pushed me into that also.
Wow.
And they recommended open schooling, and I did open schooling for the next 3 years, and then it was like all doors are open for me.
Yeah.
Can I respond to that?
Yes.
Aishwarya Ma! I know this kid since she was 7 years old. She was a real little baby. And the first early images I have of Aishwarya is when I was taking her. I was on a flight to Delhi and she was alone, and her parents said, "Can you, kind of chaperone this kid?" I had no idea we would have such a long association since then. And a lot of what she said is appropriate because we said, if this is a gift, the child has to grow into that. Academics is one part of it. Not everybody is made out to be a scientist or a, researcher. So we were able to spot that. I'm so happy that this kid went so far. It was a proud moment when she was in Amul and stuff like that. Her teachers, her classmates, we were all kind of brimming. Yeah. So thank you for all you said. Always keep saying DPS. Okay, Aishwarya, love you. Mwah.
Okay, we are going to talk more with you about other students and what has been your main focus when it comes to education and academics. We'll be back in conversation with Mrs. Manjula Pooja Shroff on Ahmedabad Rising. आप कहीं जाइएगा नहीं. Stick to 100% Retro.